How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it.
Yep. In my thoughts, in my opinion, I believe that there is a problem plaguing the black community, and we're not just talking about racism, we're talking about how we don't want to be treated the way we've been treated, and we want to be treated fairly, and we don't want to focus on race because everybody's equal, right? That's what the whole Black Lives Matter movement is about, showing that Black Lives Matter and that we're just as equal as our white and Asian friend counterparts, and that's a good thing. But the hypocrisy of the Black Lives Matter movement and the hypocrisy of many black people just within the community of striving for equality don't realize that we cannot cure racism or get rid of racism until we stop focusing so much on race. How are you ever going to get rid of racism if we're always going to focus on race? We're always looking at white people as being the ones focusing on race because they wanted to focus on the color of our skin, keeping us down. And it brought me back to a clip that I wanted to show you guys. I'm sure you guys have already seen it before with Morgan Freeman. I wanted to go over this clip just to outline the hypocrisy of what we're seeing in modern day society. So we're gonna look at a clip by Morgan Freeman talking about Black History Month. I wanna know what his thoughts are on Black History Month. And we're gonna go over the clip. We're gonna have a conversation about it. Let's get into it.
Black History Month you find
Ridiculous.
Why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it.
Yep.
I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
Yep.
I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman.
If we want to get rid of racism, why don't we drop the labels for a second? And I've seen this before. In my own opinion, being left or right is no different than black versus white. If we want to start having conversations, if we want to lessen the effects of racism, we need to drop these implicit biases. When I have a conversation, I don't want to have a conversation with just a white man. I recognize you as a white man, or you see me and recognize me as a black man or white woman, black woman, Latino, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, you are a man. I am a man. We have conversations as men, as people, as women, as whatever. But when we have to sit up here and say, well, you are a white man, you are a black man. Yes, there are certain things that white people or black people may not understand about certain ethnicities because there are certain things going on within that ethnic group. I'm not denying the racism aspect, but what I'm trying to say is if we want to stop racism, which by the way is never going to end regardless because there's always going to be people that are going to be racist, black people included. If we want to lessen the effects of racism, stop talking about it. The reason why so many black people are even more frustrated with what's going on in today's society is because they won't stop focusing on the aspect of race. They're not going to stop focusing on the very thing that they want to dismantle, which is racism. Why does Obama have to be the first black president? It's pretty self-evident he was the only black president. He's the only dark-skinned president on there who was black. Why does that matter? He's just a man, like all the other people before, and yes, we do know the history of America, so that is something to look at and say, oh, that's cool. But there's no need to harp on it. So we're gonna look at another video by Morgan Freeman. He was on with Don Lemon. I think this video is about 6 or 7 years old, maybe, yeah, about so. Kind of on the same topic of race, you know, because Morgan Freeman has the right idea. If we want racism to end, drop the labels. This idea of harping on me being black and harping on you being white defeats the purpose altogether. And if only, it's only making the problem worse because we are no different than those who are actually racist, wanting to suppress other people and thinking that they're superior. So we're going to jump into this next video by Morgan Freeman.
Can I go back to, because I thought what you said was fascinating because you called it bull when you said people can't, pull themselves up. Do you think that race plays a part in wealth distribution or either a mindset that you can't
Today?
or cannot? Yeah.
No.
You don't?
I don't. Hey, you and I, we're proof. Why would race have anything to do with it?
Put your mind to what you want to do and go for that. It's kind of like religion to me. It's a good excuse for not getting there.
Yeah. You know, I said, and it's probably get me in trouble, but I said to some of my colleagues recently, so I know that it's an issue, but it seems like every single day on television I'm talking about race, and it's because of the news cycle, it's in the news, but sometimes I get so tired of talking about it, I want to...
Morgan Freeman is exactly right. He is proof. Look at them. Don Lemon is not just a man, but he's also a gay black man. So are we really going to let race and let our sexuality determine whether or not we can get to a certain thing? I do believe that they do definitely play a role, because people do discriminate and people are racist, but are we going to let that be an excuse as to why we can't succeed?
I want to just go, this is over, can we move on?
And if you talk about it, it exists.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like it exists and we refuse to talk about it, but making it a bigger issue than it needs to be is the problem we have.
Especially the extremists. Just like there's white extremists, or just like there's extremists in any demographic, in any race, in any ethnicity, whatever you want to call it, there's also extremists in the black race too, right? One person I'm personally not too fond of, and I'll say his name right now, but Dr. Umar Johnson. I know a lot of people love him, I know a lot of people follow him. I'm not saying everything he says is wrong, but when it comes to the idea of black men should only date black women, my thing is this: I'm a male. If I see a female, if she's attractive, she's of the opposite sex, I'm going, and if I like her anyway, I'm going to date that woman. I don't care what color she is. I don't care if she's black, white, brown, but that's just the problem. The same people that want racism to end are the same people that keep focusing on race. We cannot have a conversation in a healthy society if we keep putting these labels on people, and Democrats or whatever the case is, but just in politics in general, people love to throw the term around implicit biases. Implicit biases is also saying you are a white man or you are a black man. By saying black or by saying white, you are carrying those implicit biases within that statement, so you are already subconsciously building yourself up to what that person may have gone through, up to what that person may think about you based off of the color of their skin. And I think all of that is just completely dumb, and I'm not trying to oversimplify the issue, but what I'm saying is sometimes the simplest solution is the best solution. Read for yourself and understand that that white person next to you is just a human being like you. At the end of the day, especially for someone being Christian, it doesn't really matter. If you are a Christian, and I see this within the Christian community too, with black people or white people or whatever the case may be, we are all descendants of Adam, and we are all made in the image of Christ. So why does it matter if that person is black or that person is white? And it just goes to show the foolishness of man. And the ignorance of man is just astounding, to say the least. In high school, they have these clubs, and there will be sports club, the science club, but then you have the black sports club and then the black science club. Like, why can't it just be a science club? It's pretty clear that I'm black. Even if I am the only black person there, let me get by based off of my skills, not off of my color. I'm not going to let the color of my skin dictate who I am as a person. I was born this way. Society tells me that because you're black, this is what's going to happen to you. Because you're white, this is who you are. We're born into these things. But is a blind man racist? Like, if we were just all blind and we couldn't see the color of each other's skin, would we still have the same thoughts and motives today? And I know what I'm saying may seem self-evident, but some people just simply don't get it. And especially people within the black community, because remember, as black people, we can't be racist. You know, racism, impossible. Only white people can be racist, right? If I'm a black man hitting the crap out of a white man, calling him a cracker, no way it can be racist, no way. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. You, with your ignorance, can't even see that you're being the very person that you're accusing that white person of being. The way American politics carries it over when we have conversations with white people, it's already implied that these white people are ignorant of certain things that black people have gone through, or that black people are ignorant of certain things that white people gone through. And I feel like we just completely need to do away with that society, and I know it's not going to happen overnight, but I'm just saying it needs to be done away with. But there's a difference between not knowing and then having implicit biases on them. Usually implicit biases come with negative connotations. So down in the comment section below, let's start a conversation about it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.